Welcome back. Now let us have some questions based on the analogy given. 1. Was condensation visible in that analogy? Answer: yes. Question 2. How does this analogy model the process of condensation? Answer: the water droplets forming at the top of the lid of the pot is an example of condensation. Another question. What event in this analogy model precipitation? Answer: as the water droplets become larger, they began to fall back into the pool of water in the pot. That is precipitation. Now, let us take the meaning of water cycle. Water cycle is the continuous movement of water from the atmosphere to the earth and from the earth back to the atmosphere. In nature, water circulates mainly within the abiotic environment. Only a small proportion recycles through living organisms. Plants take up water from the soil in large amounts. Small amount of the absorbed water is used in photosynthesis and other metabolic reactions, while most of the water is lost by transpiration in plants. Animals take in water constantly from food and drink. They lose most of this water in the air they breathe out, in feces and urine. Decomposers release water during most decay processes. Combustion of most fuels also releases water. Open surface water and land are usually heated by the sun. This leads to evaporation. Water that enters the biotic component of the ecosystem returns to the abiotic component via respiration, decay, excretion, and transpiration. Question. Look at the diagram. Take note of the different arrows and complete the diagram. Now answer. Look at the second diagram and take note of your correction. Process of water cycling in nature. Atmosphere receives water through evaporation from open surface water like sea, ocean, river, ponds, and so on. Evaporation from land, transpiration from plants, breathing and perspiration from animals, respiration by plants and animals. Land also receives water through precipitation or rainfall, infiltration, and percolation. These are the processes by which water cycling occurs in nature. Now, if you compare the analogy on water cycle and process of water cycling in nature, the source of it is electric stove in the analogy, while in nature it is the sun. In nature, water vapor cools, condenses, and precipitates back as rain on land and open sea, whereas in the analogy, water vapor condenses and drop back into the pot. Analogy is given to understand concepts, but it is not the main mechanism of water cycling. Now, question. Outline the processes that water goes through across the planet. We will go on break now and we will be back shortly.